We all need a guiding light in our life to shape our world. Like that, we have Mr. Ashwani Kumar, our experienced structural engineer, yet professional, working as designing in the same field. We welcome you, sir, in our platform of Protrainy. We are on a mission to upskill all our students from the aspiring civil engineering background to the another episode of Through the Lens of Civil Engineers. We are looking forward to this amazing session with you. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you for hosting me, Disha. It's like a good opportunity for me to express my knowledge to the juniors, like how can I can guide them and lead them to a better like civil engineer. So thank you again.
Okay, so let's explain the background of the person a bit more. So, he had been working in a bigger project as full time with structural design engineer with the company of SPS Technocrats Private Limited. And he also has an insight with the company Gammon India Limited, where he worked for 1 year with the project of four laning of NH63. Not only that, he has gained so many skills with his own background work experience as a site engineer, then gaining skills through seismic design of buildings, and also through one more foundation program under Infosys. In this way, we can find him already training himself from the very foundation in the beginning of his college and starting as working through internships, also working as a trainee engineer before this. So we have an extraordinary background of Mr. Ashwani Kumar. Sir, would you like to add something about your college life?
Actually, from the right beginning, I had wanted to go in computer science, but later I found the civil engineering too interesting, like the seeing the things, making the things which we can see the reality in intuition. So that inspired me. Then I later switched my branch from information science to civil engineering.
Wow.
So it fascinated me, like seeing the long bridges. Like I was studying in Bangalore, and there was one bridge near our college that was Hebal Bridge. So that was too much inspiring. So I always wanted to oh, okay, I will design one day like this type of structures. I want to do this type of structures. That's why that inspired me civil engineering and the bridge design engineering. So like that it came, and that inspiration got me to like perform well in academics. And I was also focused to get technical knowledge, bookish knowledge, and practical knowledge. So I done a three combo I got the gold medal in civil engineering, like branch topper, first ranker in college, and along with that, uh, I'd written four research papers and rest all the trainings like which we should take like as a civil engineer.
That is really motivating when we decide like what we want to pursue and being passionate about. That's exciting. Okay, so we want to know what is the real motive that motivated you to come in the civil engineering? Like, did you had a dream before, or did you start planning since school?
Uh, to be honest, my all the family members are in the civil only. So right
Wow,
from beginning, seeing them work in the civil field, so it inspired me.
wow.
Nowadays, software is also inspiring. So civil was more inspiring. So that's why I came in civil engineering, and it's still fascinating me to learn more and design more and like that. And it's a never-ending process.
I can understand. I can see the happiness in your face. Okay, sir. So, what has been the biggest achievement for you till now?
For me, like in the quantitative point of view, I can tell that I have published four international research papers.
Wow.
And another thing is like getting the gold medal from the college, like it was highest CGPA. I didn't was expecting to get the CGPA, like gold medal in civil engineering, but luckily I got it.
It is a great feeling,
And the
when
next thing is
we.
like being hosted at the Protrainy.
Definitely, we appreciate everything from your point of view. Like we are really happy to see the perspective from your eyes. So, so it must have been exciting through the journey, right? Like working in a practical field. So it must have, seen, you must have seen a different adventure from a practical field work than studying as a civil engineer in college. Right. So like, can you give us a brief idea how does being trained and untrained makes a difference?
See, what happens, like many thing at site is at execution point of view,
Mm.
it's quite different from what we design and what we train engineer. Like if he is untrained engineer, mainly we think that he don't know working knowledge. Like the bookish knowledge won't help anything in the practical work. You have knowledge, but you need to learn like how the execution is done, how everything is done. So main difference between trained engineer and trained engineers, like design anyone can do, but how the real scenario, like how the work will be execution, will be major difference. And the another difference is working know-how. Like we know basics, but how it works in bigger structures or how it works in highways, how does it affect real? That's the major thing difference between trained engineer and trained engineer. And
Okay.
nowadays, like software helps. And another thing is site training, which a civil engineering should always get. Like without
Mm.
it, there won't be any clarity.
True. Obviously, we do need some direction to help us with the future, expectations in a company. Great.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned that you are already working in a company right now as a full-time work. So, how has been your experience in this company?
Actually, it was like inside opening. I got the opportunity to come to bridge design. So like I switched my inside with the company, and like I started from the scratch, like doing the hydrology and site inventory, along with the design of like smaller structures like retaining wall and others, like slowly moving towards minor bridge culverts and RC girders. So it's like a trajectory on upward, and it's really exciting. This every day is a new challenge. Something new will come, like this is the scenario and you have to design for this, or this happened at site and you have to now modify at this. So it is like that only.
Wow, that's interesting. We see that you are more interested in several different fields. Okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah. If you want to talk about certain risk factors we witness in several projects as a civil engineer, that will help for the aspiring students.
uh, First thing is like cost. The major thing in it, like any project, is cost. The cost
Okay.
should not overrun.
Okay.
Another thing is like practicality. Like if you are designing or if you are like a site execution, it should be like come in handy to the people for whom we are making anything, from like buildings or bridge or any structures, any civil engineering thing, dam or any structures. So it will be practical. It should be
Mhm.
cost, like optimize the cost, and it should be structurally safe. And another thing is like local, like
Mm.
geotech and the
Okay.
weather at local conditions, they also affected too much in the things. So these are the mainly risk factors, like and the people in near around us, because mainly sometimes like the locals people will oppose the project, like so these are the risk factors which one should we should take before going into any project.
Okay. I can see how so many things do matter while starting with the project itself, because not only working on it, but like start working on it is a bigger foundation, right?
Yeah.
So, so can you briefly explain how civil engineer gets training and evaluated at which parameters, and he needs to be careful about it?
From like fresher point of view, we generally like see that how he knows the basics. Like
Uh,
we don't go for like more technical knowledge, like basics. Like if anything is there, we will ask like what is codebook knowledge, because the
mhm.
codebooks plays a main important part in our civil engineering field. How
Okay.
is code and knows that. Next thing we see for like how his like practical knowledge is, like does he know how the like to be technical, how the shear force and bending moment is working, what is live load, how the earthquake will work.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how like execution takes place. So for it, like fresher who wants a job, like then he should know like basics of codal, like what are the codal provisions, basic of softwares like Stat, Madas, ETABS, CSI, Safe, and the many other softwares are. And the next thing is execution. So
Mm-hmm.
how the execution takes place, how we mix the concrete, how we lay the concrete, how the curing is done. So he should know everything right from starting. And the reading of drawings, like reading of the drawings is the one of the most important part which we ignored in colleges. Like we make the drawings, like we have the subject like DDRSS and everything, but we don't know how to study the full drawing. So drawing studying is also important for a fresher.
Oh, yeah, we see, because at the end, how things matter is the knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, would you like to reflect about your one of the most memorable projects ever, where you learned so much and you realize you're confident about other future projects?
Actually, when I went to Gammon India Limited, it was my second day, and we have assigned to like construction of the culvert. And
Okay.
for a like we were six people, all were fresher, and we had assigned to us at go at one side,
Uh-huh.
go and one side do all the executions. Like you have
Mm-hmm.
to handle everything. So
Mm-hmm.
like a learning experience for us. We used to take the more like code books to at site. We used to study there. We used to guide the like levers and operators like do like this, do like that. And it was like a lot of learning. It was we were getting happy like we are at a college student a few months before, and now we are executing of the culverts, and it went quite well. Like so, it was too much like learning. And the next thing was when it come to a bridge design. So when my structures getting got like I designed the structures, it got approved. After that,
Wow.
it getting started constructed. So when I went site, I was happy like, oh, I have designed this and see how it is working. Like it's my design.
Wow, that's so
These
cool.
are the two
Yeah.
feelings which like civil engineering.
Yeah, that taste of success is so tasty. Cool. So, do you want to reflect about the basic roles and responsibilities you handle till now, like as a teammate or a team leader?
In the starting, I was acting as a team member.
Mm-hmm.
So we were led by one senior, and we used to like we used to share our responsibilities. Like three, four people, we had the same responsibility. So I wasn't like team leader. But after that, when I came to design, like I used to lead a team of like my draftsman and junior engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a like mix, like the way you proceed, you get the like opportunity to lead the team. And the
Mm-hmm.
leading the team, like you have to see all the perspective. Like you have to handle the client, you have to handle the like company staff, you have to handle the authorities. So it's team leading is like quite helpful, and it will it's surely recommended to lead the team to grow in our civil department.
Wow, that must have been a great journey that we came to this platform today. So, mm, what do you believe? Like, civil engineer is working so hard to solve all the complex projects and problems to bring construction and infrastructure projects a success, to make a bigger change for the whole economy in India. Like, can you briefly explain?
For any like like any for developing nation or developed nation, we need structures, infrastructures played a vital role. Like we need we need airport, we need roadways, we need a lot of things. So means infrastructure support is very quite important. And
Mm-hmm.
like buildings, like for offices we need buildings, higher rise buildings. So civil engineering plays an important part in development of any place. Like you take any developed place, and you will notice the infrastructure development. Like it's on the another level. Like you take the Singapore, New York, any city. So
Wow.
like for India also, like development of infrastructure is quite important for any development. And
Wow.
civil engineering plays an important part. Like it's a ongoing process. Like
Mm-hmm.
it can end. Like for any other technology, like there is a, some slowdown period, but for civil
Mm-hmm.
engineering it's going on, like you can't stop.
Yeah, the aspects are so many varied aspects, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can you talk about? like what can be the future more possibilities as a civil engineering student who already passed with a degree can endeavor more other programs and different departments just from the civil engineering background.
Yeah, nowadays, like while I was learning in some courses, so people are going for machine learning and like machine learning and
Mm-hmm.
artificial intelligence. It's helping a lot. Like it's easing the task of planning, easing the task of execution. So nowadays, like the software advances we are taking, so it gonna like save a lot of time and a lot of manpower. So in future, like I think. Artificial learning and the machine learning, artificial intelligence and the machine learning will take the most of the jobs and easy our burdens. So if a fresher like who is wanting to that means for next perspective of 15 years, he should go for along with the like basic knowledge, site education, you will learn artificial intelligence and other softwares like many analysis softwares are coming which are highly sophisticated. So he should go for that.
Wow, that was really motivating. So any particularly general advice you want to give, like regarding internships or to get skills? Because we see not only having a single degree, we have to work on to be professional, right?
Yeah.
So, can
Yeah.
you give some suggestions about it?
To a civil engineer like who want to learn, so for him he should approach all the like sources like our industry, to be honest, is a reference based industries. You should first take one like organization or anything where
Mm,
from where you can go, like you need to decide the first what you want to do, like which sector you want to go. Either you want to go in bridge or dams or any type of infrastructure, whether you would want to go for site education, planning or design, depends on the person. So
mm,
according to, you have to first sort out like what you want to do. The
mm,
next thing you want to do is like getting the right person, approach the right person. Like for like a site knowledge, you need to approach the like company like site in charge and approach him for internship. Or if you want to come to softwares, approach the right design like the tutors. Many online courses are there. Many people are like teaching. So approach in that place and try to learn from the basics, like how the design is happening, how the things actually work, and ask all the questions. Like the major of the experience is the practical experience. Practical experience plays a lot part in our civil engineering sector. So like if it's like you can ask to any two of LinkedIn seniors. Like when I was college, I used to ask to many seniors like how you do this, how in site execution this place take place. So this will really help. So approach all the professionals. Do mandatory do the site trainings. Like people like who are studying, they don't want to go to site because it's like hectic. Like you
mm,
have to stand in sunlight, rain, and winter season for 12 hours. So they refrain that I don't want to go, but it's highly recommended. Go and see how the things are actually taking place. Because our job is not like talking with good professionals only, but sometimes we have to handle the supervisors, site supervisors, authority engineers, labor. Sometimes you have to guide to laborers also. So you should know all the like you can explain a layman. So you should know all the basics. If you can explain the layman, you have a good basics.
mm. Yeah, so you want to look forward for a better foundation for all the students with internship and skills and networking and
Yeah.
experience, right?
And it is required before any job. Like one from first day, like we don't have like training sessions like we used to do in Infosys. Like in Infosys or any other IT companies, they will put like 6 months in training. But in civil engineering, they will put the first day on the live project. So you
Wow.
can't like commit in that things. So internship
Mm,
and the training is the most vital role in civil engineering. And the main thing like freshers stuck is they don't do the proper trainings. And
mm,
lastly, they get that side. So training is the most important for any fresher like I will recommend.
wow. So if you were asked to, go back to your college life and change something about yourself, like, will you do change anything about your college life which you do regret now?
Yeah, like when I was like I had done one internship. So I wished I know this much knowledge. I could have done like more softwares. Like I've done the softwares, but it was like basic only. So I could have gone more industry-oriented programs. Like this was missing. Like how the practical design tech works. Like even we used to do the training, it was like just software knowledge, but there was not practical live project experience. So if I will get the opportunity, I will go back and learn how the practical design takes place, practical execution takes place. So I will like to like increase the number of internship, increase the number of site visit, and increase the number of like tutorials, like software trainings on the live project or on the like basis of live projects.
Wow. So working through the life projects and internships add up to our skills, right? Hmm.
A lot.
Yeah. So anything as a last proverb or an advice that you want all the students to follow, like never give up in your life and something?
I will like you to end with like little drops make the mighty ocean. Like civil engineering, you can't learn like whole thing in a one day. You need to like spend even nowadays we have to learn like half day or 1 day. We have to fix assigned 1 hour each day learning. So learn something, some concept each day. So it will make a quite huge quantity when you come to like industry.
Wow, that was,
Like if you want to,
yeah, that is helpful to, progress everyday basis. What was, what else you were saying something, right?
yeah, actually I was telling like if you want to study the codal provision, study one page, one concept at a day. So slowly you will get a good knowledge of the like anything. So if you want to practice the software, you can't learn a software in a day. So take some seniors help, take any coachings if possible, and it will surely help.
Wow, that was literally a success when I heard from your voice. I really believe that people are going to follow your path. I love the way you presented your vision, the future the people can follow with experience, networking, not only just doing internships, but being able to approach the companies, right? So we really, really thank you and appreciate your words to give us this wise timing of yours to us. So thank you a lot, Mr. Ashwani Kumar. And once again, we appreciate your efforts from the side of Protrainy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lisa, for hosting me. And such like it was a nice interactive session. Thanks.